Finish it early because it's a bit of an experiment. Since I wasted a bit of time at the beginning, I apologise. Thanks for that. Does it sound fun? Because it just sounds a little like underwhelming for me. Like, well, thank you. That's great. Fishing is over. My name's Alex, and I play in a band called DAAY. Usually it's a full setup. This is just me on my J's. I wasn't planning on my voice breaking on that particular word. Me on my J's. I can just play a couple, and then we'll get some stuff going. This one's called Paradise, and it's about paradise. We've all been there, and we're all going back. Hold on tightly, let go lightly, got my life to tend to. Hold on tightly, let go. Let me sweep my temple. to blame. So naive. Every morning could be paradise. Hello, no clouds at all. High on low, don't shoot me down when you're feeling tired. I hide enough of this delicate skin of mine. Every morning could be paradise. 'Cause I say it must be sexy now that Sarson's dead. Can't shoot you down anymore. Feeling tired, so I sing to the moon, and she says hi, hello every time. Thank you. Yeah, I'll just do one more, and then yeah, there we go. This one's called Glimpses, and it's about glimpses of a better life. You know, you keep glimpsing it, then it comes back. Keep glimpsing. How did you write it? Don't let it scare the light away. See it in glimpses. We've never had it any other way. We know we can never stay. Hiding our own fear. They're still the same. you. I'll be playing a few songs in between acts. What I'll be doing.
Thank you, Alex, everyone. Woo! Fuck me, it is mentally bright on this stage. No, genuinely, like it's nice. So I unbuttoned the shirt just for the possible climate on this stage. Have you got something else to say, Alex? Are you going to stay on the stage?
Yeah, well, I just want to hear. I love the sound of my own voice.
Yeah, we can tell.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's not an insult.
No, it's a nice voice.
Okay.
It's a nice voice. It's just like I don't know why you're still on here when I'm supposed to be hosting the night. No, it's just like it's weird Ant and Dec shit going on. Sober, coked up. No, they don't. They don't look at each other anymore. They don't look at each other anymore. I wouldn't look Ant in the face anymore if I was him. I'm Dec. You're Ant.
I feel like an ant.
Yeah.
So I'm just not.
I'm just gonna. You can stay there, but I'm just gonna carry on with the night. Well, but poet, musician, like tick.
We had a fucking. Listen, I came so far.
You came all the way from Homerton to be here. So spiritually, you mean? Spiritually. Yeah, no, your songs are very spiritual and nice. We all feel much more conscious.
I feel rejected.
You feel anger. You're a spiritual person and you feel anger. Just at that.
Listen to my words, James. I feel rejected. I didn't say I'm angry.
It's absolutely fine.
You'll see. I'll be back. Just laughed at when I say I'll be back.
Alex, I'll be back. Thank you very much. Thanks everyone for coming. This place is pregnant with poets. So very exciting to be here. So this is literally the return of word of mouth. You were there. Give yourselves some massive round of applause. Just for turning up, you get applause, so well done. How is everyone? We made it through February. Fuck yeah. Fuck you, February, you miserable midget of a month. Not gonna lie though, tonight is gonna be quite fun. We have amazing featured artists and brilliant open micers, and me as the host. Woo! I'm Jamie, I'm from the Isle of Wight, and I look a bit like Jesus Christ. I know this. We have lovely Billie P.N here tonight. Billie's amazing. Whenever I'm hosting a night, she's the first person on my list to come, and she always says yes, so thanks. You're sometimes busy. Tuesday night, though. Nothing else on. Another featured artist is Acafella, his return to poetry tonight. Third and finally, who was running late, as per fucking usual, is Jamal Hassan. He's fucking incredible. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Is there anyone here who hasn't been to a spoken word night before? That one person. Fair enough. So anyone that hasn't. I also know that my mum, who's there, also hasn't come, so. Hey, Mum. All the way from the Isle of Wight just for this shit. Thank you very much, Mum. Just to see me with my tight little trousers on a stage. There are no real rules for a night, obviously. You can do pretty much whatever you want. I think it's just respectful to, as the poets are talking and saying their words, to maybe not talk throughout the artists. My mate Hannah, queen of the spoken word scene, says like talking through open micers throughout the show is a lot like going to a brothel and wanking yourself off. So don't be a wanker, is essentially the... also, no masturbation when the acts are doing their thing, if you wouldn't mind. Oh, I know, gutting. My mum's here, though, otherwise it'd be fine. That is pretty much it, you know. We're going to have a fucking great night, and let's get the real poets onto the stage. Make as much noise for people as... If you hear, like, a good line or a good rhyme or anything... Talking about lines a lot tonight already. A good line or a rhyme. Give it a big cheer. Make noise for it. If you like it, then let them know it. So, we're going to get the first open micer onto the stage. Ro, are you ready? All right, man, cool. He looks a lot like me. You'll love his poetry. It's Ro. Give him a big hand. Keep those cheers going while he fumbles about with his Sainsbury's bag. Nice one, man. Nice beard.
Thank you very much, man. All right, hello, everybody. You all right? All right, quick plug before I get started. I've got my own gig coming up on the 18th of April, a couple days before 420. It's the play of my book, basically. So it's all like non-PC stuff. It doesn't mean you do anything bad. It just means I don't prioritize people's feelings over how I feel. In any case, it's a lot more fun. You guys will enjoy it. But that was my plug over 18th of April. Come speak to me about that. I've got my books to me for sale as well. They're only a $5. So it's about the same as a beer, but it won't make you call your ex lover at 2 a.m. or anything like that. This is called 3 Inches is a Magic Number. For some men, it is their charisma that makes them smooth. For me, it is the fact that my cock cosplays as Ken's crotch. You see, I am a grower, not a shower, which means I somehow manage to be even less impressive both before and after sex. It somehow brings a smile to their face, but for the wrong reasons. You see, my dick is so disproportionately disfigured, I nicknamed it Danny DeVito. And in fact, you can laugh. And in fact, this little legend will make you laugh so hard. It is my body's interpretation of Kevin Hart. And it gets nowhere near The Rock. In fact, I have to trim my pubes so it doesn't look like a baby anteater peering through the longer grass. In fact, I have met women who say they are kinky. Until with me, they realize that BDSM just means a badly designed schlong, mate. In fact, if Bear Woods had to find my dick in the woods, he would say, this particular maggot offers nothing of substance. In fact, my dick is so disappointing. Women take me back to my parents and say, try again. In fact, my boner barely works, and when it does, its performance is so piss poor that it qualifies for JSA. That is the only dole I can appease. But at least my wee wiener is the envy of Scottish Buddhist monks. As I've been detached from my vanity for so long, I no longer have an ego. You see, I do not have a penis. I've got a foreskin with personality. In fact, my Boris Johnson is such a shameful size that on a beautiful summer's day, it will look like I was stood in a fridge. In fact, my wiener is such a shameful size that when gents rev their engines unnecessarily loud, I don't even get angry, I just raise a fist in solidarity. In fact, my small package with a Napoleon Dynamite of a complex, no bang, is so inverted I can give women the lesbian experience they have always been curious of. In fact, people do not even have sex with me for pleasure. They do it to garner good karma. In fact, they do not even call it sex. They say it is closer to an acting class. But at least I'm the only person whose claim to fame is I can give people the gag reflex via Wi-Fi. But one day when I find a Wi-Fi, hope I can convince her that having to hold is to be grateful. Because whilst my dick ain't much, do you know what it is? Faithful. You see, when I find the right woman, my Willy Wonka won't wander. And on that odd day when you eventually do want the D, I will do my best to make sure you forget the rest of the alphabet. Now, at the end of the day, I love my dick, and some mornings too. And one day I'll find my perfect fit. So until then, if there's any other gents like me, don't be soft and let them demean us. Be a man and be proud of your penis. Thank you.
Fucking hell, and that was the first artist. Give it up for Ro. Thank you. Jesus Christ, big fat dildo as well. My mum's here. What of it? Why not? Thank you so much. So that is what we're dealing with already. You know what I mean? We set that bar. Thank you, Ro. This is why I asked you to come here and bring that along. Appreciate it. Right, we're going to get another act on. We got so much to get through. This person, once again, the last event I was here, she did an amazing set. She kind of apologized that her thing wasn't poetry, but storytelling. She did the same again to me tonight, which is a strange thing to do. She's got an amazing podcast called Diary She Wrote, but I'm sure she'll talk about that in a minute. Give it up for Liz. Keep giving it up for Liz. It's harder to get here than you think, I promise. Go on, Liz. Nice one.
At the age of 12, I was stood in my junior school corridor, dressed in my gym kit, tiny black pumps, inappropriately short grey shorts, and a pale yellow vest, with my name stitched in the back and a thin blue V on the back to represent my schoolhouse, Vernon. And I overheard my PE teacher, Mr. Long, say that he had written a diary every day of his life. My 12-year-old brain thought, that's a great idea. So on the 1st of January, 1994, I started writing, pen to paper, and I didn't stop, every single day. I'm now 38, so I've got over 9,000 diary entries, so I've got a lot of stories to tell. And I created a podcast called Diary She Wrote. It's a storytelling podcast. It touches on the complexities of sex, coping with grief, and navigating the London dating scene. It launched in February, and I've just celebrated 10,000 downloads, which is great. Tonight, I thought the theme was 3 is the magic number. I just made that up, apparently. But I picked a story that represented 3. So it's from episode 2, which is called The Hope. And it's kind of about a love triangle that doesn't quite match up. So there are 3 characters. There's myself, there's Maya, and there is Liam. I am Maya's hope. Liam is my hope. And I never quite figured out who Liam's hope was. Saturday the 13th of May, 2017. I woke up to a message from Liam saying, "Lovely to meet you, Liz," with an emoji blowing kiss. I replied, "That was how you nail a first date. We would have been a hit on your favourite TV show." I'm excited by him. I did a shred workout, breakfast, netball. I played centre against 16-year-olds with 6 players on our team. I have the biggest blisters on both feet. I loved it, but my body feels exhausted. I had a lovely time in an antique shop, buying a few pots and sifting through black and white photography. The man said because I had such a lovely smile, I could have them for free. It was such a treat. I didn't want to see Maya after having had such a good night with Liam, and Cara was having a Eurovision party that I wanted to go to, and I felt done in, but I knew it wasn't fair to cancel on her. Had a power nap. Took me a while to get motivated. I just wanted her to cancel, but she didn't. Night Tales was busy, so we went to Nettle House, and almost immediately I thought, this is going to be hard work. The chat was difficult and slow, and then she asked if we could go somewhere quieter, and I thought, okay, maybe she's intimidated by the situation. She'll chat in a quieter setting. We ended up in the Spurstow, and on the way she was like, "Are we just going back to yours? Not that I'm complaining." And I thought, no, absolutely not. I can do one more drink and then I need to make my excuses. Jacob was on the bar, which was nice. We had a treat. He got us a free drink. We got halfway through the drink, still struggling for conversation, and she said, "Are you okay?" And I took the opportunity to say, "I'm just not connecting with you. I know there was an expectation you come back to mine after last time, but I don't think it's a good idea." But she just kept pushing me, saying, "Well, what can I do to change your mind? Is it because you find me unattractive?" I really wasn't expecting that reaction. She said, "Can I come back to yours and chat? And if you're still not feeling it, I'll get a taxi." And I said, "Well, we still won't have anything to say." But eventually, it was just easier to give in, thinking, well, then I'll have given it everything. And she said she can't say that I didn't make an effort. We walked back, got some drinks, and chatted in the kitchen, sat either side of the table. But I really didn't want to do anything. And after a short while, I said, "I think it's best you get a taxi." She said she was too drunk. And I was like, she's had 2 drinks. She's not drunk. Fuck, how do I get out of this situation? She's trying to stay the night. I ended up booking her a taxi on my Uber account just to get rid of her. And she said, "Can I kiss you?" And I was like, okay, thinking the taxi's 4 minutes away. I can kiss her for 4 minutes, and then it's done. She leant over the table and kissed me and said, "Can we kiss standing up?" And you just kind of feel stuck. So I stood up, and she started to touch me, still trying to change my mind. And it was awkward and cringy at how desperate she was, and I felt really uncomfortable. And had it been a man, I would have felt fucking terrified. I was so glad to see her lock the door. I was so glad to see her leave and lock the door behind her. I don't like that she's been in my flat. I I had to pay to get back to Kensington, for fuck's sake. What a disaster. Sunday the 14th of May. I woke up at 5 a.m. and checked my phone, hoping maybe Liam had been in touch. But instead, I had a missed call from Maya and 2 messages saying, "Can I call you? It'll make me feel less shitty." I then had her on my mind, and I really didn't want to be thinking about her. I messaged at 9 a.m. saying, "Sorry, phone was on flight mode. I'm about this evening if you want to call," thinking she won't want to speak to me now she's sober. But she replied and said, "Can I call you now?" So she did, and wanted to apologise and asked to meet for a coffee, and said something about me being the second person she'd slept with. So then I felt like I had some sort of responsibility to make sure she was okay. So I agreed to meet her at Paddington Station at 4 p.m. We met in Eats at the station, and she said sorry for coming on so strong and was likening her behaviour to sexual assault, and said it was the worst night of her life, and asked why I didn't hate her. I kept saying it's fine, and it really was. And then she was like, "Okay, you can go now." So we said bye again. Hopefully now she's apologised in person. That's what she needed to make her feel better, and I won't hear from her again. So Diary She Wrote is available to download on all your regular podcasting platforms, and you can also follow me on Instagram at Diary She Wrote. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Give it up for Liz. Cheers. There is no way I would be able to share what the fuck is in my diary. So many illustrations. It's going quite well so far. Yeah, it's quite good. Everyone's getting nicely pissed. It's like a little sort of segregated womb that we're in right now. Just feels quite nice is all. It's all being filmed as well, so if anyone has anything to say at all, get here in the spotlight. You can share your verse with everybody. Let's get another person on. So this person I'm going to bring out is their very first time doing spoken word poetry. Yeah, wow, yeah. Don't even know him yet, already getting clapped, so... they've come all the way from Australia. I don't know if it was like a direct flight to come straight here tonight, but they came far. Phil, are you around? Give it up for Phil. Again, elongated applause because it takes forever to get to this stage. Yes, Phil. Have fun, mate. I don't know how to... Is this height all right for you? I don't know how to... Oh, Christ.
You sure? Yeah, thank you. This isn't my first time doing swag. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jesus. This is a poem about. It's a poem about doves, the end of the world, and love. I'm addicted to releasing doves. I found a dove dealer on Gumtree. He lives in Kazula and he sells them to me for 20 quid a bird. Obviously, that's a bargain. When I release them, it's always a pair. Only a psychopath releases a single dove. My goal is to infect the world with doves. Replace dogs at the park with doves on leashes. Maybe train as a barista and sweeten sugar-free flat whites, not with stevia, but a large male dove. I'll even let the doves flock under the first couple of layers of my skin. I'll lift my arms up like a can of soup, self-consciously unbuckling itself. 1,000 sub-epidermal doves will flap their tiny wings, and I'll hover over a land slowly growing diseased with doves. I'll bury some doves up to their neck. Watch them blossom into the acne of a year 9 math student from 2003. I'll harvest the pimples with a squeeze. Watch the doves slide out like kneeling calves down the water slide of their mother. But it'll only take moments until they gamble up onto their feet and take flight. It'll be heinous and beautiful. Every tired spine of a book shuffling to the edge of the shelf, about to drop in honorable suicide, will instead be lifted up as doves. Books aren't dead, they're just doves, filthy with knowledge and shameful inky tattoos, flying higher and thicker and scrubbed clean in light, surrounded by all their sadomasochistic moth friends. I'm going to watch them ascend in front of a sunrise with non-threatening mountains in the background, like the logo from a Christian aid organization from the 80s. And I want you to see it. I want you to be there on that mountaintop. We'll kiss, and I'll never stop loving you. I want to wake up there with the rain falling on a tin roof, safe there in your arms. But the raindrops are dead doves. And your arms are doves. I'm going to replace all the bandages and all the hospitals with your dove arms. I'm going to hear them coo as they turn red from blood. When people laugh, I want them to choke on a dozen doves coming out of their mouth. But it'll be a peaceful choking. Like drowning in a kelp forest while a Norah Jones song plays. Come away with me. Come away with me. Come away with me. It'll be so peaceful. Away with me. Come with me. In the night, even the olive branches in the dove's beaks will be doves who will then be carrying an olive branch, which also turns out to be a dove, which also turns out to be a dove, which also turns out to be a dove. It'll be like a goddamn Escher painting. An unstoppable wall of glorious foam like King Midas getting handsy with clouds. And we should probably do this for some time, at least until the whole world is a heaving pixelation of a million doves, or one giant dove, or you walking with me on a cloudy day. It's hard to tell the difference, but it'll be the final magic trick, the ultimate reveal. All the doves, always and forever, far, far away. Thank you very much.
Fucking yeah, Phil, cheers. Very relaxed with hand in pocket there. It's a shame you had to lie to me to get onto the stage, but first time, never again. Because I've got some other first timers as well happening tonight, so you've ruined it already. Unbelievable. We're going to get one of our beautiful features up here. They are very, very talented. I saw them, I met them, in fact, at Camden Chocolate Poetry. It's an amazing night that happens in Camden. And he's a big ball of charisma. He's actually making his return to spoken word poetry tonight, so you're all absolutely privileged to see him. It is Acafella. He's just doing all his hugs and stuff. Yeah, welcome back. Yes, Acafella.
She was pale and frail but so lively, sharing a dismal tale, not yet aware of the laughter behind me. The scab on her head filled me with dread, visible emotional scars etched in red. This story's not gory, just incredibly sad. Observations of social disparity in the eyes of an absolute lad. I'm going to start from the beginning and focus on the behaviour of those of us considered to be winning. Bin that pint off, you mug. We laugh and cheer as Krabby continues to chug. He slams his glass on the table. You're a lunatic, mate. He's smiling broadly, clearly proud of this label. Rule out for his leaving through. He's off to Asia without the crew. So it's Brick Lane for a curry. Exhausted waiters bring our food out in a hurry. And this is a rowdy bunch. Most of them drinking since lunch. I get the impression the staff hate us. I don't know. It's just a bit of a hunch. I looked over at Birdie and his big square head. Couldn't help but laugh at what he just said. Oi, Krabby, you bellend. What's up with your lid? You need to fuck your barber off, pal. Trust me, get rid. Piss off, Birdie, you absolute virgin. Your head is square. You look like Nicola Sturgeon. The banter is flowing and so are the beers. Every pint down provokes further cheers. Let's all follow the leader. This mentality is entrenched in lad culture. This is standard procedure. But I refuse to be a sheep. Laughing at the misfortune of others. What benefits can that reap? And at night, how can you sleep? My solution's not radical, just one big empathetic leap. Extend some mercy to these poor souls instead of smirking as they creep. Snout, I proposition a table. 5 out of 8 lads nod their head, they're willing and able. It's time to go smoke. We stand in a circle and share jokes that are hurtful. But suddenly, she approached with a flurry of words. But when us lads get together, we behave like animals. Perhaps we should call groups of chaps, herds. She was a heroin addict, that much is true. To paint this picture, let me start by describing her clothes to you. Denim shirt, light blue, covered in brown red stains, reminiscent of... You get the idea. Her jeans were ripped, distorted, tattered, various tears and holes revealing bruises. It was clear to see she'd only recently been battered. Her socks and heel combo was quite the sight. Feeling angry confusion at some of my peers' apparent delight. Because when I'm out in the city, I often feel pity for the people that are left behind. It's increasingly rare to find lads that care or possess basic human compassion. We could just be kind. Her face was a mess, displayed evidence of duress. Drug addiction on that scale must cause all sorts of stress. She was ranting and raving about her struggles with saving, whilst lads are smoked them out in the paving. A chorus of laughter follows directly after almost every single thing that she says. but her story's not funny and she needs your money, so she stands while you take the piss. Puffy eyes and tear-stained cheeks, clutching at her hair unwashed for weeks. Presence is the word. You think you're going to ignore her like you do the others. Well, the notion is absurd. Oh, let me be honest, I just came from the squat and I desperately need some help from you lot. Haha, sorry, got no change. Keep yourself distant, stay out of range. Why be so horrible? What did I do? Don't be a prick, I need £2 from you. Ha. He searched his mind for a pun. His intention was to continue to make fun, but in truth he was scared and wanted to run. Not in a physical sense, mainly just to hide from the suspense of hearing exactly how she acquired that scab just above her brow. Not breaking out the little violin, but whilst you drink gin from your poncy little tin, I stick needles in my arm addicted to heroin. Her relapse early that morning had caused despair, so she pulled out chunks of her own hair. My guess the intention was to prepare for the pain that lies ahead. So much anguish in her face, enough so much that you can taste the bitterness that's laced when it's dragons that you chase. So next time you laugh at people on this path, you will feel my wrath, I'll give your soul a bath. If my message is not clear, allow me to explain it simply here. Be kind and pleasant to those in need. Your kindness could have long-term implications. You could be planting a much-needed seed. Don't always associate begging with greed. We're all bloody human, it's blood we all bleed. So hear my message and take heed. Be kind to everyone, but especially me. Yeah, so my name's Acafella. And I don't recite poems, I poem the fucking shit out of people. You just got poemed. So, going to keep that going. So for the next poem, I need to share a little bit of context, all right? I need to tell you a little story. So I'm 29 and I'm turning 30 in a couple of weeks. But my whole life's narrative has probably been dominated by the trauma of having an estranged biological father. And when I was 27, that was the year that I sort of, you know, like started I didn't even know like what the word trauma was or like healing or anything like that. And 27, I started to work through some things and I identified that this was an area of my life I needed to address. So anyways, long story short, my biological father's from Dublin. That's his hometown. I was in Dublin, December 2017, and I was visiting family, and I was with my auntie, and I was staying up late with her husband having a chat. And you know when you're talking to someone, but like you are miles away, like you're going, yeah, but like I was not present because I was thinking about the situation. I made a silent vow to myself that the next time I was in Dublin, I would confront my biological father. So the next day we drive down to County Clare. It's a different part of Ireland. I went to see my granny. And anyways, when I went to leave Ireland via Shannon Airport, I couldn't because basically there was a load of snow. And the flights got grounded and cancelled and whatnot. So we had to get a train back up to Dublin. Now I'm on the train to Dublin. I'm thinking, this is it. Like, this is an actual sign, no? Like, so anyways, I reached out for a mutual contact and I arranged a meeting. Now, just as I'm leaving the hotel, I get a message saying he's got to go and grit the roads of snow. So, no meeting. Cool. Fly back to London. Arrange a flight for early March, late February, early March. It was early March. I don't know if anyone can remember late February, early March 2018. Snowed quite heavily, blizzard, flights got cancelled. So it's not going to be of much surprise to anyone in the room when they hear that the name of the poem I'm about to share with you is called Snow. Snow falls and blocks paths physically and emotionally. All these years of absence and silence has definitely taken its toll on me. A blizzard of ill will would be directed in your direction. Through time and wisdom, my stance changed upon reflection. You became a benchmark, a future challenge. By confronting you, I'd be confronting myself. Open up wounds of the past to repair present damage. Ice and powder twice blocked my view. I'm trying to look myself in the eye, but the mirror keeps on reflecting you. Guilt, anger and sadness, don't forget the pain. When I was around 7 years old, feelings of confusion drove me insane. By the time I was 18, feelings of confusion had turned to hate. I might be an impatient person, but 16 years, bruv. It's a bit of a long wait. Summers and winters pass and water turns to ice. In my early 20s, I thought nothing of you. Now in my late 20s, I'm paying a price. Where were you? Me and Mum could have been dead for all you knew. Truth be told, you was bitter and scared. I don't think this is a case of a man who never cared. We were left freezing through no deceiving of you. That's just how things turned out. It's amazing how cold it can get when someone you never met was never about. And there were some sad and lonely days, and even now I compensate with feelings of loss and abandonment in detrimental ways. See, when I was younger, it was people-pleasing that held me back, and a lack of self-esteem meant my wallet was constantly under attack. The snow blocked our paths not once, but twice. Frustrating, given that a 20-minute meeting would be more than suffice. Although saying that, it hasn't been snowing for 26 years straight. Although I don't blame you for how things have turned out, and I genuinely hope your life's great. I want to say goodbye, so I need to say hello. I'm not denied for a third time by the ever-present snow. Frozen tears became icicles that reside deep within. I tried to thaw them out with cigarettes and gin. This deep pain can't remain as I need to get on and live. The snow allows us 20 minutes and that is all that I can give. The snow meets its end when the sun melts and tends to the icicles and powder. And we'll say goodbye as the snow starts to dry. I might even give you an hour. So, basically, if you're lucky enough to know the thing that's eating up your insides, yeah, if you know what's causing you discomfort and know what's like inhibiting your development, my advice to you is deal with it, tackle it head on. And if you have the power to forgive people, do. Don't do it for them, do it for you. Right, on to the next piece. Okay, so at least 90% of the room is going to feel absolutely mugged off by this poem, right? And I don't give a shit, okay? It is what it is, all right? I wrote it about tracking observations, patterns of behavior that I see on social media, right? It's not a judgment piece. It wasn't written to mug people off, but you will definitely feel mugged off. It's called I Want a More Social Media. I want to be famous. I want 1 million followers. I want 1 million likes. I want one of them blue ticks. I want to share inspirational quotes alongside completely irrelevant images. I want to have a Twitter fight. I want to change worlds and influence opinions. I want to build a following of minions spanned across global dominions. I want to share posts and retweet. I want to like and send pictures that capture picturesque landscapes featuring my legs and feet. I want to reshape my image, promote only the good. I want you to get me. I wish I was better understood. I want to create hashtags and get issues trending. I want to scroll through pictures down pages that are never ending. I want to see paid promotions. I want e-commerce sites to target me using the data collected from my online behavior to create algorithms that are tracking my emotions. I want clothing brands to use those algorithms to market at me using some kind of hilarious content, preferably funny. Because I like to laugh while I'm making advertisers obscene amounts of money. I want you to see my dinner, so I've uploaded a filtered picture of my salmon. I want to see Brexiteers and Remainers argue over the use of the word gammon. I want to be continuously ensnared. I want my privacy to be breached and my data to be shared. I want to be thrilled, stimulated. I want to scream into the great digital abyss because I'm opinionated. I want to upload picture after picture of my face and couple it with captions I borrow from scripts seen from different people in a different place. I want to log in and share what's on my mind. I want to see evidence of altruism and the best of humankind. I want to be successful creatively, which means creating online content. I want to compare myself to others. I want to be content. I want to find unique spots, literally just have something cool to upload for the gram. I want to be more addicted to social media than some people are to substances that are weighed by the gram. I want to know why the founders and owners them expose these platforms to their own kids and why not having thousands of followers these days feels like you're living off grid. I'll be out of my pals, but just completely ignore them to keep checking my phone. I don't want to socialise with those same people when I'm at home alone. I also want to watch back videos of us cheersing shots with boomerang effects. I want pictures of me to go viral when I've been caught slipping and look wrecked. I want to see statuses formed as statements of regret. I want to be reminded of stupid things I did in 2008 that I tried to forget. I want to see new houses, new cars, holidays, and new gifts. I want to see coded messages that point to semi-public passive-aggressive riffs. I want to see relationships confirmed and moments of significance. I want to see before and after photos in a caption, please explain the difference. I want us to be better connected. I want paid-for propaganda to get the wrong people elected. I want to find out if any good ever come from a poke. I want to pretend I'm rich. I want to pretend I'm broke. I want all the good and none of the bad. I want us to pay attention to studies that show that teenagers are more exposed to social media compared to their peers were considerably more sad. I want us to replace our journey for better self-esteem with digital fantasies. I want us to fall prey to commercialized anxieties. I want to see the best and the worst. I want to see pictures of good times that haven't been rehearsed. I want us to be careful of each other's emotions and consider the impact of what we are posting. But ultimately, I want to be friends with you. I want to snap you. I want to at you. I want to like you. I want to follow you. I want to know you. The real you. That's that one. Yeah, so this next one is the last one from me. So I tend to just walk straight off the stage afterwards. So I'm going to do my little shout-out thingies now and plug in now. So first of all, thank you so much to Word of Mouth for, first of all, putting on such a fucking great night, everyone, innit? What a good night. Love Jamie Merrick. Absolutely love Jamie Merrick as a host. Just keep doing what you're doing. Big fan of it. And then what else as well? Yeah, thank you, lot. Thank you for being, such an accommodating audience and making me feel comfortable sharing personal things. It's really pleasant. And a quick plug. So I run my own night called the Three Ps. The Three Ps is the best night ever. Basically we have I know I would say that, but if I went to that night as me, I'd be like, this is sick. And I'll tell you why. I love old school garage, right? And basically, okay, cool, you should come. Whoever works, you should come. Because basically, there's no open mic. We changed the format, but we got poetry, comedy, music, and then we always end the night with an old school garage skank out that goes out to like 3 o'clock in the morning. So listen, all the details on my socials, @_Acafella. You can find them on there. And anyways, this is me now, the last one. And very, very quickly. So December 22nd was a really important day for me. It marked the year of sobriety. So I wrote a poem on that day for the poets in the room. You know, when you've got a poem just yearning to come out of you and you're like, when is this poem going to come out? And you're like, writing, you're like, yeah, cool. But it's not the poem. Well, anyways, I got to December 22nd. I was like, there he is. So this is that poem. And I called it December 22nd. It's been 1 year to the day since demons gave way. Games been played, great chat has been sprayed. Switching up lanes with habits now tamed. The grape and the grain no longer obeyed. This year was conquered after I saw and I came. Temper the temper that was worn out and frayed. Heat treatment shaping the glass. The fire within illuminating the dark. Nowhere near finished but impressed with the start. Building a house not made up of cards. Sultry sounds subtly swapped and sold. 12 settings for serious singing. Suffered spoken stabs from salt-soaked swords. Their spiteful strikes still stinging. Spoke for my cause to clicks, chance applause. Bereft of poison, masquerading as courage. Doing your best, no guarantee of success. You must ensure the right wolf is nourished. There's less self-disdain, much loss to the gains. Clarity of vision has flourished. Tears and laughter, tools of a grafter. To think this hard work was discouraged. Left doubters in awe, standing tall where I crawled. Not sorry to disappoint. Nights out are mild, but energy's wild. Can switch at the flip of a coin. I would get licked and act like a dick. Demand you agree with my point. Had so much space, went off my face. The distance mirrored my void. And what you're not shown by a king not sat at his throne is the lack of power he feels. So he picks up a stein to strengthen his spine and imbibes a magic potion that heals. The magic wears off, scoffers crescendo their scoffs, jesters have even the keel. Guards have been dropped, there's no stop to the plots, and now this king must kneel. But he found his way, a year on his day, standing in lieu of a crown. His court feels nettled, the more it gets settled. Why are they so desperate to bow? Coin of beef borrowed to inflict over sorrow, getting indebted to drown. And now there's no fuss, just success at its cusp, and all the tables are round. This year's been a lift, healed many soul rifts, ambition serving a suture. No longer dazed, frequently praised, and now I look to the future. Actively rival negative cycles, find a vibe that's super. Beware of false cares, negative affairs, misery is an alluring recruiter. And if you can sense your life is tense, it's never too late to change. Goals are free, causes to breathe, set ones that vary in range. If you're not sure whether you deserve more, your finger caressing the page. Let chills travel spines, your willpower's grind, releasing potential that's caged. Like flowers we bloom, our petals protrude over concrete garden and field. And mine I shine bright and bask in the light, their true form fully revealed. Flowers feel fear when threats are near, but they must keep these feelings concealed. All year for the win, not just in spring, none of our fates are sealed.
Acafella, well done, you lovely bastard. Cheers. I fell over on my way to the stage. Sorry about that. So we're going to have a cheeky little, 10-minute break now. So Folklore are actually giving us this night for absolutely free. So the best we can do is kind of splash the cash behind that bar. I'm thinking like sort of, hen party pitchers, locally sourced ales, and like foreign liqueurs. Anything that your pockets will allow. So give yourself a big round of applause. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. You'll get some live music as well from Alex the night before. Cheers. Woo!
We're in the cosmos. eyes, what's seen by my eyes is a pure reflection of my insides. I've got work to do, the answer lies in my mind and my ND. So enthusiastic to improve my life, I get confused, I forget the most important thing is being there for you. Don't stay in my room. Don't let it end. And I can hear the trumpets proclaiming I'm here. For all roads where they are safe to appear, say I. 'Cause everyone is nowhere on a night. The street light of honor is gone out. I'm standing in the dawn. There's no one here to fix it but the beat of your those bodies safe to appear, say I. 'Cause everyone is nowhere on a night tonight. Oh, the streets light up, my love is gone out. I'm standing in the dark. There's no one here to fix it but the beat of your heart. Okay. Yeah, that's it. That's the. Jamie's back.
Give him a big old round of applause. Yes.
Thanks, Jamie.
Thank you so much, Alex, and your little socks.
Thanks. They're actually large.
I feel so much more spiritual after that performance, so thank you. I needed that on a Tuesday evening. So first half was fucking brill. I'm really, really happy. I hope that lighting looks quite nice on my cheekbones. Yeah, George? Thank you. And this round is going to be even fucking better. Stuff forward. Have you got... Alex, you all right?
Ignore me, Jamie.
Absolutely,
I'm fine.
sorry. You're quite
Just gonna actually move my things away.
clattering around with your flat lager over there. Okay, cool. So yeah, we got some really talented poets, spoken word artists, whatever you want to call them, in this second round. We are going to start with probably the most experienced and lovely poet I know. She's sat right in front of me. She's looking up to me as if she doesn't know that I'm talking about her. She also said, I feel really ill, Jamie. Can you get me on as soon as possible? So here we go. Please give it up for the very talented, the very beautiful Desree. Woo! And she's all ill as well. Give her a big shout.
I love you, Desree! Do I have time for two? Is that right? Go on, then. So the first one I'm going to do is called Catcall. Trigger warning, it's about sexual assault. Earlier, when you catcalled me, did you expect me to come? Heel, sit, roll over, unzip, lie down, stay, bitch, before? When you've screamed at other women in the street, did they fall at your feet? Look at you like, oi, was the most beautiful form of poetry. How offensive. That you think I can be beckoned, that my body was made for your eyes, or that I needed your blessing. Your screams are not a compliment. Just a reminder of this patriarchy, how you believe a woman can't even walk down the street without being deemed your property. Your catcalls were never for my confidence. I'm not so pretty, you just have to tell me. You shout to assert your dominance. Your screams were meant to scare me. Think about it. A stranger who professes to like you but doesn't give a shit if they humiliate you in public or make you feel threatened. Words are not just words when your words act as weapons. Have you ever had to put your keys between your fingers? or cross the road at every stranger, if you've ever had to face the legitimate everyday threat of rape, you know that your compliments incite danger. I have never been flattered. I've been flattened and dehumanized. I've never felt complimented. I've been uncomfortable and terrified. I've never felt valuable. But it has made me feel invalid. It has never given me a sense of self-worth, but rather made my sense of self stagnant. Do not reach for my body. Do not whistle or beep your horn. Do not tell me how good my tits look or follow me to my door. Do not scream at me from the other side of the street or call me a bitch when I do not respond. Women are taught how to avoid sexual violence, but men are never taught how not to be the assailant. So next time, before you raise your mouth at me in the street or fix your mouth to say something crude, remember, it's only men with small dicks and no prospects that think that's an acceptable thing to do. Thank you. So there's this poet called Olivia Gatewood who has this poem called An Alternate Universe Where I'm Unfazed by the Men Who No Longer Love Me. And I wrote kind of an ode to that, but it's people because by visibility and all that. When she tells me she only dates women of color, I do not get mad. Instead, I torch all the clothes in her wardrobe, apart from the black ones, and slightly unscrew all the light bulbs. When he tells me there is no future between us, I learn how to time travel. Travel back to a hot day in August in the late 80s and hand his father a condom. The day he told me I would never meet his mum, I purposely bumped into her every day. Every day for a year until my name fell out of her mouth at his dinner table. He told me I looked like the type of woman that only dates white men. I pulled open the kitchen drawer, extracted the ice cream scoop, and plunged it into the corner of both his eyes. Now, I look like nothing. Once, we were stood in a room and she told me my poetry was uninteresting and that it didn't contain enough metaphors. So, I quite literally put my fingers up my throat, grabbed the pain from behind my eyes and held it in my hand, waited until she went to say something else and then shoved it in her mouth and watched her choke on my hurt. At 10 years old, my first boyfriend asked me to keep our relationship a secret. So I cut out his tongue. I have a lot of blood on my hands in this universe, but no tears. No 3 a.m. texts of all those things I should have said. In this universe, I wear my heart like a clutch bag, close, but still dangling, able to give to anyone. I suppose unfazed is the wrong word. But in this universe, I am not unhappy. I do not have to be understanding. I just get to be. There are no angry black women in this universe, or queer women with chips on their shoulders. There are only chips, which everyone eats. Because in this universe, your waist doesn't dictate how much love you deserve. We dwell on nothing. There are no excuses. It either is or it isn't. It existed or it didn't. There is no wondering here. We give ourselves enough love to remain unfazed. Well, not unfazed, but at the very least, happy. Thank you.
Give a massive round of applause for Desree, all sick and stuff. Thank you. This is what I wanted to get you at so many of my nights, Des, so cheers. She's always said no, usually, but this is her night, so cheers. My mum keeps asking me, Jamie, are you actually going to do a fucking poem? Because I got on a boat to come here today. So I thought, why the fuck not? Let's do one, shall we? Woo! It's got to be because my twin brother is here as well, my womb mate. He also looks like Jesus. He's over there. Have a look. Say hey. Hi. We're both from the same hometown, which we didn't enjoy very much. Well, I didn't anyway. He still lives there. So it's that little island off the south coast of England that rhymes with pile of shite. So yeah, I think it's about time, because no one else is talking about it, to put this place on the map. Let's do it. Got 3 poems. I'll just do one. If you want another, no, I'm only joking. No, well, they're already. I'll do 2 at a time, shall we? Shall we do it? Let's do it. Escape to the land of picturesque villages, sultry sunsets and silken sandy beaches. Swoon as the sun sinks into the sea like a biscuit dipped into a tea. Discover the Isle of Wight, a slack-jawed community built on insecurity. There's something odd happening down there. People ain't born proper. Windy promenades selling saucy postcards, fun runs featuring wacky teachers dressed as Disney characters, where the prize for winning the race is a polished pint glass in the face. This seaside town will drag you down. From the bungalow to the bingo, there's never not a Sports Direct liquidation sale on. And the nightlife is lit. Lads and birds are up for it. They'd do anything except you, little introspective poet. Nightclub toilet attendants want to douse you in fragrance, chanting age-old pea shanties. No spray, no lay, no splash, no gash, no Armani, no Punani. So I gave him a quid and he spritzed my wrists in that pungent cologne, but I still went home alone. The streets are paved with mould and your brother continues to mess the bed at 30 years old. True story, innit, Lee? We're going to get him all the help he needs. Just don't, for the love of fuck, let him breed. How long do you have to wait before it's too late to start living? A breath of fresh air would do you good. In this frowning seaside town where even the fun fairs are unfun and unfair, and multi-pack lagers not to be sold separately are sold separately. I know, oh vile Isle of Wight, face down you float like a corpse in a sea of salty misery. Forgotten by most maps and most people's memory, homes are packaged with trudging cabbages and shrugging marriages. Husbands despise their wives for corrupting their lives while quarrels erupt with sharper knives. Inbreeding is more popular than book reading. That was in the paper, it's true. Remember, with curtain twitching, bitching, self-harming and pig farming, also pretty prevalent. Adolescent mams with no knowledge of the pill push second-hand prams up a Sisyphean hill, and thank Christ for Instagram. Billie prolapses her lips into a pinkish pout and snaps an unhealthy amount of selfies. This little picky goes out to my faceless followers. Felt cute, might delete later. Everything is stagnant, but nothing dies. Tinder sometimes works. Hi, I'm Jamie. Libra Scorpio cuspy. I enjoy laughing and I like my women bubbly. There's a phone party near the estate if you want to go. X is sex and XS. WKD blue. Plastic phones with polyphonic ringtones. Bland one-night stands above disused poundlands. Sometimes you're better off seducing your own right hand. We pray to God, but God hasn't answered our prayers, hasn't returned our calls, hasn't replied to the messages in the group chat. Even God is ghosting us. 2 blue ticks and no text back. Nothing is worse than that. As the allure of the grave gets stronger, fresh fruit is well avoided for fear of living longer. The winding country roads may hug you, but the tracksuit bottom brutes will mug you. You need something vital to unplug you from this derivative narrative. You've left school with more STDs than GCSEs. And your girlfriend is spending your pension on lip injections. She'll take what she needs and will not bless you when you sneeze. Is this really what you bounced out the womb for? Having that haircut is bad for your health, and your doctor's advice is that you go fuck yourself. Eat some fruit and do him a favor. Check your own prostate or ask a neighbor. Stuck in the gusset of life. And I love you, Isle of Wight, but you weren't born right. Cheers. Thanks. Cheers. Thank you. That's really nice. So yeah, thanks. Cheers. Visit the Isle of Wight. Yes. I'm gonna get our second feature on. I hope she's ready. I'm gonna do a bit of talking and dancing, so she is ready. Yeah. Okay. Well, Billie is incredible. The last night I hosted, I got her involved because she's incredible. She's doing loads of other nights, a little tour. I'm sure if you follow her on Instagram, she'll tell you all about it. But please welcome to the stage. It's Billie P.N. Woo! Yeah. Cheers, brother.
Isn't he so fucking funny? How annoying. How do you follow that? I put my beer down. It's all part of setting. I'm setting the scene. I drink beer. I'm very cool and edgy. So, hi everybody. I'm Billie P.N. Thank you so much to Word of Mouth and to Jamie and to all the other amazing performers. What a fucking lovely night. I've got like a contingent of people who know me personally here, and you know what they say, all poets are like, it's better to perform in a room of strangers, but my friends won't stop fucking coming, and it's very humiliating. So I'm going to start off with a little poem. This is some new shit for later. It's not a prop. I'm going to start off with a little poem about my mental health because I thought it's a nice little introduction to me. I'm very neurotic, you'll get to know. These days, I collect streaks on the Calm app, not Snapchat. I prescribe meditation like medication for the soul because that medication they prescribed me felt like a cold bat to the side of my skull. The whole this disease leaves in my head feels like a vortex. I get stressed, I get vexed, like who's next and what's next, and get up and get dressed. You can't stay in that cold bed all weekend. You're lazy. You're worthless. You're nothing. You deserve this. In this world of self-serving and self-yearning and self-earning, it is hard not to feel like you are not self-worthy. It's like I've got this disease where I have overactive empathy in a world run by narcissists. And I would know, I've got a psychology degree. Those of us who know how to love true and love deeply aren't the fools. Love, meet me halfway. I am sick of being cool. I am sick of pretending that I like house music. The same beat just loops around and I can't dance to it. I am sick of working when I don't feel like it. I am sick of pretending that I don't need kindness. Overthinking these problems, I've got analysis paralysis. This canister of pressure stops me from getting a level handle on this, and I overthink my problems till inaction leaves me powerless when all I really need is a second just to process this paradigm of mine. Leaves me blind sometimes. I can't see beyond my own eyes. Sometimes I really believe my own lies. Sometimes I pay big to fake a high. Sometimes I can't feel beyond my lows. Sometimes it's like I can't feel my toes. Oh fuck, I am numb. It starts in my extremities. My hands start to buzz and then go dead completely. Loud noises scare me. Cars can't go too fast. I put my fingers in my ears when freight trains go past. I can't hoover on my own. Can't blow dry my hair. I definitely can't contemplate the gapingly transient nature of human existence. I can't drink caffeine anymore. Having to face the grind whilst the richness of my essence is crushed out of me into a bitter black broth is too much for my soul to endure. I've got no patience these days. So I guess I am better off than the NHS, but if you were to take an X-ray of my chest, you would find a swarm of bees where my heart should have stayed. I failed to train my mind. Instead, it just loops round and round. Call me the circle line, and it's fine. I am fine. Honestly, I'm fine. It's just these delayed smiles are always running a late service, so they seem to reach my face just a minute too late. I'm trying. Heart pounds in my chest. Sweat beads on my head. They say to chase dreams is to hustle, but I just cannot fucking sleep. I'm tired. But it's not that deep. Anyway, mate, enough about me. How are you? Thanks. Thanks. I'm all messed up in there. Hey, who else is all messed up in the brain? Woo! Always gets a good response at poetry night, so it says a lot. So get help, all of us, please. So yeah, thank you all so much for coming. I'm always really happy to come and perform to a really full crowd. I'm into telling everybody all about my life all the time. I'm an oversharer. So I've got a couple now that are very long stories about very fucking interesting shit that's happened to me. And look, I hate to say it, but I'm extremely interesting and funny and cool. No one else is saying it, so I have to for myself. So this is a poem about me being a young girl, and a tragically universal experience for women is that we have shit boyfriends when we are young and vulnerable and impressionable. And I was one such woman, believe it or not. And he was a fucking cunt. He was. Thanks for the clicks. They actually met him, so they really know. So this is a poem about how I went like a big to him. Here we go. It's called Chips. Yeah. I'm like a celebrity. And I look at this box of chips that were once in my hands and are now on the floor that I was just about to eat, but I'm not that hungry anymore. And I think, fuck, I have really done it now. Sorry, let me go from the start. So we met at a party in a friend's garden when you got blackout drunk and everybody laughed. And at the end of the night, I kissed someone else. And although I didn't even know you yet, you have never, ever, ever let me forget it. One night you asked me what my biggest regret was, and I lied. I said it was not kissing you instead. But then you held me so tight in that tiny little bed that the white lies seemed to dissolve into the darkness. You see, you were my first in so many ways. When I met you, you swept me up in this daze of compliments and affection and gestures and direction. You told me I was lost before I found you. And I guess I never bothered to consult a map, and I definitely didn't consider that it was all crap. I just ate it all up out of the palm of your hand as you led me like a lamb to your promised land. I was broken. But so were you. Sorry, where was I? We have been out with friends. Friends is rich. Friends tends to imply ties of love and camaraderie. These people were not our friends. Let's call them acquaintances. No, in fact, they were the jeering crowd who saw you were down, then pushed you into the vodka and told you to drown because they thought it was funny to make their own little clown. The alcohol doesn't mix well with your meds. We both know that, but you turn away from me. Instead, you take another sip. Straight spirits slip into your bloodstream and the scales, they tip in favour of this circus. Roll up! You're a fucking slag. The circus is in town! Did you know that? You're a fucking slag. You are so close, the smell of your breath makes me gag. That one was just for me, not for the baying punters who conveniently seem to have lost interest in their blood sport. And I say nothing. I just call us both a cab. Most nights you wake up, stay over at mine and wake up screaming, and I am holding you close and telling you you've just been dreaming, and you cry and shake. Your ice cold hands I take into mine. I would fight every one of your demons if you asked me. You know, I would drown out the desert. I would dry up the whole sea, but my metaphors are pretty weak because I'm only 16. So instead I just hold you really close till we fall back to sleep. Get out the car, who's going to be sick? Middle of nowhere in the street, and as though with a click, I see the last of the boy I know leave your eyes. I can see where this is going. So I say goodnight. Perhaps it's best we see each other another time, and I can see that hurts him, but that suits me just fine. I have just got to get out of here before he crosses that line. Fuck you then! Fuck you! Fuck you! In your element, this eloquence is hardly of any relevance, so I decide in a display of quite heavenly benevolence to walk away into the nearest chip shop. And he is following me, and his words will not stop, and I order these chips, and they are served piping hot. They are burning my mouth. I can feel my tongue blistering, but the gift you see is that this hurts less than the welts your words are leaving on me. This hurts less than the bruises you have beaten on me. This hurts less than gluing back together the pieces of me. These chips are a moment of sweetest relief. You are screaming now. Spit flecks flick through the air. You are frothing at the mouth with this rabid stare, and now I'm crying in a chip shop, and you don't seem to care. You raise your fist. And in a moment of clarity, I decide to lift up the box and push them directly into your face. You freeze. And I look at this box of chips that were once in my hands and are now on the floor that I was just about to eat, but I'm not that hungry anymore. And I think, fuck, I've really done it now. So I wait for the fallout. Your face is covered in sauce now. Ketchup, drip. Hot sauce, drip. Mayo, drip. You look like a prick, and I laugh. From my belly, I laugh at your contorted face. I laugh, and I laugh, and I laugh, and just like that, I'm not afraid of you anymore. You are not the same bully from moments before. It's hard to give you that power when you are painted in sauce. You are just a boy standing in front of a girl covered in fast food. And under these fluorescent lights, it is clear to see I am more, and your hurt will never take me. I am more, and your words will never break me. I know my worth now. How could I forsake me? And I look at this box of chips that were once in my hands and are now on the floor that I was just about to eat, but I'm not that hungry anymore. And I think, fuck, I've finally done it. In this moment of the story, I stride out into the night, charged with adrenaline and power and strength and delight, and I leave that little twat eating my dust. The scales a little more balanced, the world a little more just. To any man that would make a woman feel fear or dread, I will dash 1,000 chips in 1,000 of you man's heads. Thank you. Thank you so much for that very positive response. That's how I know I'm not the bad guy. Okay, so I'm going to do one more. This is literally the newest of new shit I could possibly bring. Because I was actually bogging off work all day and writing it. Fuck the man. So yeah, I was very, very excited to come tonight. And I was also very excited because a lot of people I know have come. To everyone that doesn't know me, hi, you now know me, so you all count too. We're all getting to know each other. And once again, I find myself in a position where I've got a very funny story. So I'm going to tell you it. So who here in the audience, yeah, this might be a rogue question, who had a fake ID to go out when they were younger? Holla. My peoples. Yeah, because, right, like... as if at 16 I'm going to just sit around in a park like any girl. I'm going to the club. So I wrote this poem about using my fake ID to get in somewhere really naughty. And you'll see what it's about. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. It's called Poison Chalice and Feminist Malice. And bear with me because I'm reading it straight off the page. Just laugh at my jokes, basically. I begin the night a temporary cyclops. I have glued one of my eyes closed with fake eyelash glue, and true, I will not be a cyclops forever. But right now, this is a catastrophe! The girls are getting ready. That most mystical of social rituals where the female of the species cram themselves into a small space, usually with one mirror between six, and attempt to preen in preparation for partying and potential partnership. Basically, like friends of a friend's big brother's the promoter. He said, we'll definitely get in if we look like we're older. You just got to remember to bring your fake ID, and once we get in, it's pretty much free. Everyone buys your drinks. It's sweet. Just come. So we are going out in Mayfair. It takes a bus and 3 trains to get there. We queue up smoking Richmond menthols in a bid to look old, and it works. We are in. We have barely checked our cloaks when brilliant bright light finds us huddled together on the precipice of this iniquitous den. The flash of the photographer illuminates our faces, still flushed with the sweetness of youth, and we feel like fucking celebrities. Do you want to know what I make in a year? What? I said, do you want to know how much money I make on a year? My eardrum is fit to burst. This banker keeps going on, but it could be worse. They have 2 magnums of Grey Goose and enough tiny tins of Red Bull to power a small army. So I listen to how much this guy took home for his bonus and hope he doesn't notice I'm refilling my glass. I am Robin Hood in this club. I am taking from the rich and giving to the poor. I am Karl Marxing this joint. I am redistributing wealth directly from their pockets to my mouth. I am untouchable, lovable, rogue. I am indestructible, inexpungible. Alone? So I guess I'm alone now. That's cool, whatever. I am the lone fucking ranger. Everyone is a friend, not a stranger. Why wouldn't they be? Hey, I'm Billy! Yeah, like Piper. Another flash from the photographer. We found love in a hopeless place. Fuck, this is a banger. I can see my mate's face across the dance floor, and we do that locking eyes, tongue out, can't believe our luck pout. This is what life is all about. But my knees feel weak. Flash. My mouth tastes like hairspray. Flash. Why can't I hear you speak? Flash. My two friends, space and time, have consciously uncoupled. The walls are melting. I'm seeing double. I am flying through the universe by the arse crack of my pants. Has it been 10 minutes or 10 hours? It's anyone's guess. Now a bouncer approaches and asks if I'm anyone's guest. You look like you've had too much, miss. But this miss must have missed something because I've only had those 2 vodka Red Bulls, so why do I feel completely unstable? Was I really just dancing on that table? See, then I start to freak out. We found love in a hole. Don't worry, mate. I've got her. An arm has snaked around my waist, and in a moment where everything is soft around the edges, somehow this presence is icy lead in my stomach. I don't know you. Yeah, we were just talking. Don't you remember? I took your picture. You look so pretty. Do you live nearby? I live in the city. A firm hand on my lower back begins to push me towards the exit. Come on, some fresh air will sort you out. Wow, you really can't stand. What's that all about? Lucky, I found you. I am being taken out of the building. No one has batted an eye at this barely conscious girl on the arm of this guy. No one really looking for trouble. No one sees anything at all. No one wanting to make an awkward call until I hear a familiar voice above the music. Oi! We found love in a hopeless place. The girls are back in town now. We turned and you were gone. We searched for you so long. Who the fuck was that guy? Wait, no, who the fuck was that guy? A lack of person where person stood. I'd tell you what I looked like if only I could, but I couldn't. I'm just another girl in another club with another trancer lacing her drink with drugs. In another world, my girls weren't so sharp and something truly horrific took place in the dark. Thank God they found me. Space and time start to patch things up. We get the fuck out of that God-forsaken club and we start the Great Migration home. When to add insult to injury, 3 men just won't leave us alone. What's your name? Where you're from? Why are your mates so fucked? Where are you off to? Got a boyfriend? I have had enough. And although I am out of my tiny little mind, one last ounce of strength I manage to find, I lift up my chin from resting on my chest and projectile vomit all over their Saturday best. I am Robin Hood in this joint. I am puking on the rich and winning for the poor. I am Karl Marxing this joint. I am distributing their wealth from my mouth back to their persons. I am all over their white chinos and brown tasseled loafers. All their horrified shrieks as they ran off the bus played like music in the ears of all of us. Thanks. Thanks so much. That's my last one, so thank you all for being so amazing. I'm Billie P.N. Poem. I'll catch you there. Thanks. I was trying to do a Jamie, and you have to pick up your props after. It's really...
Even there, mate. Fuck it. Thank you. Fucking hell. Billie P.N, everyone. Jesus Christ. Wow. Wow. This is why I invite her to literally everything I ever do. Plus her friends come along and it just fills up the crowd, you know. So we're going to take a little, 7 to 10 minute break, go buy some drinks, do bits of coke in the toilets, whatever you got to do. And I'll see you in 10 minutes. Cheers.
So my name is Alex. I play in a rock band called DAAY. I usually have more people with me. It's quite a bit louder normally. So I'm going to play one more, and then I'll let Jamie continue, I think, if that's what we're doing. And the next one I'm going to play, it's called Mama, and it's actually my band's first single that we're going to release ever in the world, so I'm very excited. Thanks. I love these. I can't get your vibe. I can't see you, so just this clap out of nowhere. So the artwork is here, and my lovely girlfriend is making a sort of digital version of this, and so this is it, and it's sort of all about sort of the earth really, and tied in with sort of relationship with femininity and matriarchy and mums. And I think I'm going to change this because I think it looks too much like a moomin. And I don't want to get in trouble. Just going to see if it... Maybe not. It's going to fall down as I play, isn't it? Well, there we go. Are you coming with me, brother? I can't leave you here to suffer. Do your eyes fill up with wonder? Do you wanna push further? With a vision, I am the wind in the sand. I'm on a mission, Thank you. Jamie, you may proceed. Let's give Jamie a chord. Oh, okay, no.
Give me a chord. Give me a chord.
There's nothing happening.
Okay.
Every time you go on stage, it mysteriously doesn't work.
Fuck the chord.
First time was the vocal, and now it's the guitar.
No, chuff it, honestly.
How did he
it's
know
fine,
I
I've
was
got
gonna-
this. No, it's fine, I've got it.
All right, cool.
Thank
All right,
you.
cheers. No, that's
No,
no,
that's
I
thank
got
you.
that. No, I know
Oh,
that
no,
you
no,
got
thanks.
that. And you, I was kind
You
there you go.
promised a
Fine.
chord and couldn't deliver it, so. Welcome back to round 3 of Word of Fucking Mouth. Yeah. I'm really, really happy with how it's gone. My mum's happy. You happy, mum? She's loving it. Woo! Oh, mum. I think everyone should always bring their mums along. Add something to it. I really, really enjoy it. Right, I love this formation of crowd. I love the fact we're all here. But lovely Jamal, who's our headline act, is actually sat like the Isle of Wight, all segregated. If you wouldn't mind moving forth just to the front, I'd really, really appreciate it. Alana and Neve, can you come over here? Thank you. Yeah. Paul, Nish, yeah. When you feel even so, fuck, I keep getting everything wrong. It's our boyfriend. Yeah, that's much better. Oh, yeah, there's Billy. Yeah, great. Fucking excellent. Alana there in a little cowboy hat. Okay, great, cool. I'm much happier. So, let's start the last round, shall we? What a night it's been. Tuesday night. What else would you be doing, really? Some people come from the Isle of Wight, for Christ's sakes. So we're going to get the first person on. It's an open micer. They're going to be amazing. I haven't actually witnessed them perform yet. They were actually the first person here tonight, so they've been waiting very patiently while I've been guffing away with my stuff. You know, Billy's been doing her thing, etc., etc. So please welcome to the stage... I was going to do it, sorry. Kiraya. Kiraya. Woo! I like the fact you had to introduce yourself. I'm so sorry. It's all good. Bless you.
Is everybody all right? All right, so yeah, I go by the name of Kawesa, and the piece I'm going to do is called Fear. Keep your head up. You can see your path clearer that way. A reminder popping up every time I treat my gift like an abandoned house. Have you ever had a million thoughts constantly race through your mind? Your heart starts beating fast like you are running a marathon. Honestly, why do I always feel messed up? I guess it's seeing other people live the life I aspire to every day, knowing I can't be anyone else but myself. My second performance in front of a large audience. I forgot the words to my poem halfway through. Practice is now a bad habit I can't stop doing. Without determination, my wishes are only good for blowing out candles. Thank you. Is it all right? I just do another short poem? All right, so this one's called Are We in the Same Race? A lady pokes on my shoulder like she's unsure of what I am. Are you here to read some poetry? Yeah, I am. I grab a seat. A man's eyes scan me as if I'm crossing borders. I look around, notice. Like a black button in the middle of a white shirt, I stand out. The lady finally says my name. I walk to the front, conversations stop. I speak. Jaws drop, heads nod to every line. The poem ends. Legs shoot up, hands stretch out, begging me to come back. Sometimes, doing what you love when you feel everyone is against you, the most skeptical people believe us. Thank you.
Yes, give it up for Kiraya. Sorry for mispronouncing your name, but I'm an idiot. What of it? Amazing. What a start to the third round. So this next person who's coming on, I believe it literally is their first time, unless I've been lied to for the second time tonight. So I'm really excited to see what happens. Give them the warmest of welcomes. It's Nish. Woo! Yeah. Have fun.
Wow, you're all very attractive people. I just want you to know that, especially you, Debbie, Jamie's mum. I see you. So yesterday, my housemate compared me to the character Chidi from the Netflix show The Good Place. I don't know if you've seen it. And that housemate is Phil. Phil, could you stand up? The guy who did the Dove poem before. Do a little twirl for everyone. This is Phil. Compared me to Chidi. And if you haven't seen The Good Place, Chidi, all you need to know about him is he's this kind of very, very intense man of colour who is incredibly indecisive and tortured by his self-doubt. And can't do anything without a lot of deliberation. And so we were sitting in the bar just before this open mic began. I was here just to support my housemate Phil, be a good supportive friend. And he said, "Hey, you know what you need to do? You need to put your name down in the open mic tonight. Just get up there." I told Phil, I have nothing to offer these people. I have no poems. I have no thoughts. And he said, "You just got to do it." And you might be thinking, Debbie, Nish, this is great. This is great for you and Phil. This is great for your dynamic, your personal history, your thing. But why are you bringing all of us into it? And that's a great point, Debbie. So I thought, in order to make this a value add to your lives and to the night, I thought I would also do something that adds to your life and throws Phil under the bus at the same time. And the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to use the history of Phil and I's housemateship over the last 2-3 months as a case study to teach you a management tool about how to make your team thrive at work. So I hope this is useful for you. The model I'm going to teach you in the next few seconds is called storming, norming, performing. So can I hear everyone say storming, norming, performing. Great. So now, when you might have joined a new team, a new organisation. Maybe you've been thrown into the deep end by HR. You've got a new team, and you want to do really good work. You care about your job, but you've just found as soon as this team has come together, you're just clashing in huge ways. There is emotional things coming up for you. You think you're a pretty chill person. You think you've got it kind of calm. You don't really even that attached to work, but all of a sudden, you're deeply stressed and full of doubt. Well, that was my experience moving in with Phil. So Phil, great guy. We've been friends for many years. But the first night that we lived together, he made me cry. And I cried again the second week. I cried many times. That's all you know. That was a time of storming. I thought, this is over. This is a terrible mistake. I've moved across the world into a flat in Broadway Market, and I want to die right now. So that was storming. And then there was a time of norming. This is what happens with new teams in workplaces. They take a couple of weeks, sometimes a month, to actually figure out, hey, if Debbie just needs a bit more lead time before that next event, needs to get the schedule maybe further ahead than I would want to get, because if I got it that time, I would feel stressed in advance. But it turns out that Debbie actually needs it 2 weeks out because that makes her feel less stressed. That's norming. That's just learning about each other's little foibles, the weird different things that you guys do, and kind of putting your norms side by side and figuring out what's going to be normal for both of you. But this is the good news. This is the exciting move. It's the final frontier. It's performing. And I've got good news for all of you. You might have been stressed about Phil and I's history, but I'm going to tell you right, we're performing now. We've figured out what each other needs, how to love each other well. And I just want you to know that if you're going through a storming time, just hold on through the norming, because when you're performing, it's so good. And I wanted to let you know my last takeaway for all of you is that Phil is a great man. He's not just a great artist. I think he's a great artist, but he's one of the men I trust most in the world. He pushes me in ways that are he's kind of very terrifying and exciting. Sometimes make me cry, but he's already making me and continue making me a better man. So thank you, Phil, for making me do this. I hope you all thrive in your workplaces. Thank you.
Christ. I mean, there's no way that was your first ever performance, was it? Yeah, I've been lied to again, haven't I? You little bastards. That house on Broadway Market full of shit. I don't know what to believe anymore. And how the fuck do you know my mum's first name? Did you match with her on Tinder, was it? Mum? Not even Nish as my fucking dad. Can't believe a word he said. So we're going to get another person up before we get our headline act up. This person, once again, they're the second person who arrived tonight. I'm really, really excited to hear what they have to say on this microphone. Apparently, this is her first time doing a spoken word in London. Apparently, it's like Leeds. So we need to give him the best experience to show that London is superior to Leeds. Not that we need to, but give it the biggest hand possible. It's AThePoet. Woo! Keep those clappings going on. We do this in London. Woo!
Oh, wow, they're not lying. I can't see you. Okay, so hi, I am AThePoet. Feel free to like, share, subscribe onto my YouTube channel. It is AThePoet, all one word. Follow me on Instagram as well at pandakins011. So this is a poem that I've written, the most recent poem that I've written. It's called Protect Your Energy. So I wrote this poem because people be trying you, and you just have to protect your energy because it's important. Okay, so this is my poem. Protect your energy, for that is what matters most. It affects you from the surface to the core. Those that radiate bright yellow sun transfers joy to those that orbit their atmosphere. Happiness leaking from their pores, smiles so infectious no vaccine could eradicate. In the same breath are those whose sun has not shone. Gone are their rays. Their petals have fallen. The darkness carried by their aura, many turn away, shut their eyes, close their ears. For only those who indulge in their darkness inhabit. The clouds cover your eyes and all you see is the darkness. It is becoming to mold you, become you. The sun peeks out in the gaps. Accept the sun, for it holds the joy you truly deserve as a creation of the Maker. Speak your inner truth in your heart that the Lord placed in you. No darkness was placed in you by the Creator, only an energy. An energy that can radiate as bright as the sunflower in the depths of summer. So protect that energy, beloved. It is what came first in your atmosphere. Thank you.
Wow, Alex, that is real spirituality right there. Give it up for AThePoet. Thank you for coming to London. Leave Leeds behind. So we've got our headline act happening right now. Sat alone on the front bench there, like you should be. Right, I mean, it's hard to introduce this person. If there's ever a night that I go to, a poetry night, where you have to vote for, like, the best performer, if I'm ever on this with them, the best I can hope for is second place behind them. The last time I did a night, again, much like Billy, I invited this person to headline, and I think they headline all across the fucking place. So welcome them here tonight. It is Jamal, Hassan. Yay.
That's right. Yes. Thank you. Your cheers are good for my self-esteem. So, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I have a fetish for walking into tanning salons and asking the tangerines at the front desk for the usual. Because, man, I love watching Clementine cheeks burn blood orange as they scramble for the manager to ask if she might know what the fuck this Negro is on about. I have a kink for breaking the rules of personal space when patronized about how well-spoken I am. I like to get in close and smell the classist perfume worn by Katie Hopkins as she tells me that London is not my home. Versace, but it's spelled with an F. And I explain to these people how my pronunciation, poise, and punctuation use came about this way.
So we begin in 1482 with slaves brought to Portugal from Ghana. Leave that in a pot to stew for 4 centuries. Add a dash of Brits too lazy to get their own goddamn gold. Sprinkle on top an education system funded by UNICEF charities and built by Christian missionaries, and voila. A culture with European supremacy so deeply ingrained they'll do anything to feel like an honorary white. Some might change their grammar from the old tongues. Some might move their families to the countries that stole from them, which is kind of like returning to the dilapidated shack of your deadbeat ex, only all his other baby mothers are living there too. And for some reason, he resents you for your difficulty finding work, despite him being the one who draws dicks on your CV in lime green Sharpie daily, all the while telling you to go back to where you came from, even though he is the one who came into your house and sold your floorboards, your doors, and your windows to fund a dick measuring contest with the rest of his European neighbors. And if you dare to remind him of his sin, he just calls you a plunger for bringing up old shit. So sometimes I wonder what's keeping me from, at the very least, sleeping with all the white men in the world so I could ruin their orgasms and whisper, reparations. Or stockpiling sheep's stomach acid from slaughterhouses to crumble the marble walls of Parliament, or stealing sulfur from secondary schools as I hoard fertilizer and charcoal to make gunpowder. But then my mum asks me if I'm hungry, unaware of her son's latent taste for anarchy. And I'm reminded of the 2 jobs she worked, of her emaciated ribcage, how badly her stomach hurt, just so I could eat another day, in that 1-bedroom flat in Gypsy Hill, burgled so often they ran out of things to steal. And I'm afraid that my lust to settle the score will only destroy everything that she has fought for. So, I'm going to take everyone to a nice deep place, and then I'm going to finish off with some funny shit so that I can feel responsible for your good time. All right, fantastic. So this poem is not funny. It is called 8:38. It is 8:38 a.m. on a Tuesday. A black woman drives her kids to school. She is a multitasking mother. Raised to remember the oral traditions of old, she doesn't need a list to organize and compartmentalize her life. Baby Mariam spits out her pacifier for the 3rd time this morning. Mama leans to her left, sucks and spits off the dirt and returns it to baby's wailing mouth, ready for the game to start again. Only this time, it doesn't. Flashing blue eyes freeze her in her tracks. Of all the days she could have forgotten her license at home, it had to be this one. Her life flashes before her eyes. Then headlines, chalk lines, children crying, spin doctors on GMTV offering diagnoses on why she deserved to die because she did not comply. For you see, the difference between a beat cop and a detective is a question of cognitive dissonance. They saw the child's car seat, the accumulated crumbs and hair-coated sweets, an open and shut case on the matter of ownership. Only the 3-pointed star of a Mercedes coupled with the color of its owner made them think otherwise. Because you can drag your family from poverty, working 50-hour weeks for 15 years and still find yourself handcuffed, apologizing for crimes you could never commit, begging to be let go because any longer, and who knows what your kids could see, thanking the men who did this to you for letting you leave their sight alive. Ever since that morning in 2003, Mum has tried to be the perfect image of stoic pride, laughing it off as one of the many random situations a person can get caught in. After all, how would you treat the day you thought your son would become an orphan? All right. Who's ready to get silly? So, this next poem is actually, I'm going to just ask a quick question among the audience. Who here knows what a soft boy is? Okay, fantastic. For those of you who do not know what a soft boy is, imagine your classic bowl cut wearing thrasher / trap star wearing bum bag slinging fuck boy, but he writes poetry, so he thinks that makes him less of a misogynist. And this poem is called Memoirs of a Soft Boy. I trace the lines in my mind that remind me of your curves. Your voluptuously succulent thighs seasoned with sweat and fallen ash from my cigarette. I traced them so I could paint you a portrait, one that I could photograph on my Nikon and post online so the guys who called me a virgin in college might see it. Because I could never kick it, despite the old adage of a tribe called Quest. For I was a lonely, creative poet. That's how I knew when I first saw you that you would be the perfect muse. Well, I mean that and your Moorish yet supple ass. That I'm going to eat like Whole Foods groceries, since that's what Twitter told me our generation is into. Now, you might try to read between the lines and the verbal brushstrokes that I use to paint platitudes to you, as if there is some unblurred line between muse to object of desire to just a set of body parts that I love to objectify. Because, my dear, your beauty is the sun and stars, Aphrodite and Sappho mixed together by Mother Gaia's masterful hands. And your hands are the Nivea moistened tectonic plates that make a Krakatoa Vesuvius of me onto your face, obviously. Because after watching porn as sex education since puberty, it's arguably the best place for me to finish my Jackson Pollock masterpiece. And the pillow talk. Oh, the pillow talk. Oh, how we will talk about me. About my views on the universe, which are so unique. About how this system of capitalism to which my liberal ass contributes is so very, very fucked. And how you, my dear, are so much prettier without makeup. But mostly we'll talk about me and my inexplicable book that I'm probably never going to finish. And if I do finish it, I'll probably give it to you in lieu of a real birthday present. And if you do not like it, then just remember, my dear, I am the sensitive poet. I'm one of the good guys, hoping I'll get famous before it's too late to tell wrong from right. So support me, please. I need it. I crave it. Who's ready for some new shit? So, as I get this up on my phone, I'd just like to thank George, and I'd like to thank Jamie for throwing on an amazing night. And also, I'd like to thank all the open micers who stayed and everyone else who stayed, because that's really good for my self-esteem. Okay, so, I will explain to you the concept of this poem while I get it up. So, in realizing, okay, now I am finally comfortable in being single and like I've finally gotten over my breakup, I've decided to write a poem to sort of deal with that. And this is, I can only describe as a cautionary tale of what to expect if you were to date me, told from the perspective of all my exes. And it's called Jamal Isn't Bad at Sex, But. Now, Jamal isn't bad at sex, but he's awkward. Not your all elbows and washing machine tongue kind of awkward, but he'll audibly say gulp when you take your top off. He'll giggle like Peter Griffin if you kiss him anywhere other than his lips, squirming and curling up like a garden slug that's been assaulted with Saxa. Jamal fucks like a giraffe learning to walk. Stumbling and fumbling at first, but eventually he gets it. He will eat you out like a post-Brexit diabetic who thinks your clitoral glands can secrete insulin. But he'll treat every blowjob you give him like a bad game of Bop It, going, bend it, no, twist it, no, pull it, no! And you'll always lose. For the only way to know if you're doing him right is, well, there is no way. Because no one has the time to get to know him, to tear down the walls he keeps on building, nor the energy to throw him around like the rag doll he wishes he could be. And in the rare moments when something starts to work, he takes it upon himself to ruin any sensual moment trying to make you laugh. You'll overthink the implications of his shite Scottish accent. Does he put on these weird voices to mask his fear of intimacy? Who knows? But when you hear him call out his own name because he thinks it's funny, you'll realize that he is more comfortable with comedy than coming. Some men like leather and latex. Some like feet. And some treat the boudoir like an amateur improv sketch night, never saying no to anything proposed, but always apprehensive, no matter how loud and willing the consent. Give Jamal a guitar, he'll play you a Jimi Hendrix melody. Give him anything in the fridge, he'll ready steady cook you a Michelin feast. Give him any kind of closeness, and he'll hyperventilate thinking he doesn't deserve it. It's easy to know if he likes you by how stiff and stilted he gets. Oi, oi. His movements, minimalist, often trying not to stare, forgetting he was born with lashes like a Maybelline model, meaning you know exactly where he's looking, he knows it's polite, he knows it's creepy, hence why he treats every attempt at romance like a drug deal in broad daylight under central London CCTV. And when your sex lives grow stale with him, don't be surprised. When your sex lives grow stale with Jamal and you ask him to spice things up, don't be surprised when he enters the bedroom covered head to toe in paprika and cardamom going, I'll tell you what you want, what you really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I wanna. The amount of effort he puts into dumb shit is so staggering, it sometimes makes you want to strangle him. And one day, you'll shower together because that video you saw on the internet made you think it would be hot and steamy, only to find Jamal using your femme fresh to clean his asshole. He says it makes his farts smell like peaches. All right, I'm gonna leave you all with, okay. All right. So I need to give you guys a choice, all right, through like a show of noise. So make some noise if you want to hear a poem about awkwardness. Yeah. Make some noise if you want to hear a poem about sex. Yeah. Okay, sex like just this much. So this poem is called The Orgy. It's a love poem, I swear to God. My girlfriend loves me in more than a million ways. So imagine my surprise when it came to my birthday and she told me there's another present up her sleeve. So she led me to the bedroom for the gift I was to receive, and opening the door, I saw a sight that I could scarcely believe. Man, there were 5 Harley Quinn cosplayers, 4 Shia LaBeouf impersonators, 3 anonymous masturbators, you know, just to add to the ambiance, 2 nude paramedics so we wouldn't need an ambulance, and all that remained was her and me. She had organized us an orgy, the best kind of clusterfuck. She even cooked up a buffet table, and I couldn't believe my luck, so I disrobed and licked my lips because I was in the mood, that is, for food. So I started on the deviled eggs and then moved on to the canapes, which upset some of our guests. But what can I say? There was a smorgasbord of food and it was free. I mean, I'll admit I kissed the panini passionately, making them think I'd gone batshit crazy. But I don't understand why they felt so confused and flummoxed. The best way to Jamal's heart is through his stomach. Were they mad because I romanced a pizza slice or because I went balls deep in a bowl of rice? For you see, I really do love food. With me, it's a slippery slope. All fun and games till someone fucks a cantaloupe. But I did try returning to the orgy after I ate. But what happened next was a fate that I wouldn't even wish on war criminals or Taylor Swift. The room was a desert and I was a fish, empty, dry, and barren with me all alone, save for a desecrated buffet table with all of its contents thoroughly boned. Did they leave because they felt ignored? Because food is as good, if not better, than sex? Was I unappreciative to their whims and needs? Did my privilege go unchecked? Was it because we have differing ideas of fun? Or because I turned a jam donut into a glazed one? I simply cannot... I simply cannot control myself around a good plate of food. Food makes my soul dance and my heart sing. But it's because of behavior like this why we cannot have nice things. My passion for food overrides my body from the hairs of my skin to my very, very core. Small wonder I don't get any invites to tea parties with cakes and scones anymore. I suppose in the end I should just learn some self-control. Otherwise one day my problem will swallow me whole. If you want to hear and see more of my shit, my Instagram is Kid Anansi, KIDANANSI. I also host 2 nights. The first is called Extra Second London. The second is called Spoken Word London. We have, talk to me about it later because I want to drink my wine. Stay hydrated.
Thank you. Amazing. One final round of applause for Jamal. You are amazing. That's exactly why he hosts headlines any night ever. So we're pretty much there, you know. Thank you to everybody for coming over. It's been a fucking amazing night. Objectively speaking, even though I have been the host, I think it's been one of the best nights in London. So a massive thank you, bless you, Jamal. A massive thank you to Acafella, who's already fucked off, previous feature. Billie P.N, you're amazing. Jamal, you're incredible. And all the open micers here tonight, you are amazing. Also, a massive shout out to the word of mouth boys themselves. You got Georgie Boy over here. Harry over there behind the camera. Give it up. Yes. And Alex himself, who's going to play us out with a last tune. And then we're free to enjoy our Tuesday evening. Cheers, everyone. Woo!
Thanks, Jamie. I was going to play a song called... what? Didn't realize. Oh, yeah, she has a request. I'm going to play a song called Tiger Tamer. And it's... yeah. No, all right? I haven't practiced it, all right? And it's about, trying to tame the tiger that is yourself. And it's a special song. And it's fun, so enjoy it. Song. I'm trying to find this fucking pick. I swear. It's not a piece. It just genuinely... Anyone else a musician? Like, where do they go? Oh, my man. Yes. My man. the day, just never know. Oh, I guess you have to go. Thank you very much. So as I said, I play in a rock band called DAAY. We're about to release our first single. It's going to be available everywhere. It's DAAY Music UK. I also run a night called Al's Waiting Room that I think maybe I could like to run here. I spoke to Jack. I'm trying to find a new place. Thanks so much to fucking my man, Harry. Sorry, what's that? Just a little bit of lightning in the thunder. Yeah? Is that all right? Fucking hell. Jesus. Christ was a good man. I run that. That's fun. Come to that when it happens. Thank you for Jamie. Fucking, this is brilliant. I love Jamie. I loved doing that. That was fun. Thank you to Harry and George for putting me on. Have a lovely evening and stay safe and happy. Mm-hmm.